Okay, when you click, it's going to bring this page out for you. It's going to bring this out for you. When it brings it out, you close it. When you close it, it enables you to put in your password and the location. The password you are going to put is the password you are already using. You put in the password and the location you are in Lagos. All of us are in Lagos. Then we click on OK. Now it brings this out. Then on this we click on Read All. Read All. Now it brings this out. This page enables us to see the taxpayer's profile, the name. You click on it, profile. It shows the name, it shows the address, it shows the telephone number, it shows the email, and the corporate ID of where that person works. That is what is going to show you on that profile. Now, if you click on, there are some other things you can check. If you click on System App, it's going to show you the type of card that person has. If it's MTCC, it's going to show you, or ETCC, it's going to show you the holder's PID, that is the taxpayer's PID, then the date the card was formatted, and the card serial number is going to show you there. That's the card serial number. It's going to show you. It's also showing you the format date. Then you can also view the tax details when you click on tax clearance certificate. When you click on tax clearance certificate, it's going to show you the details. It's going to show you the year, the income, and the tax paid by that particular taxpayer. Now, there are some other transactions which you can also see here. If you go to the landed property, you can also see it there. If you click on it, I don't have any anyway. So if you click it, if you have paid anything online, it's going to show you. Also, motor vehicle. If you've done any payment, if you click on it, it's going to show. So these are the things that we can view on the card using the card reader. I hope it is very clear. So like I said, we have different types, the ETCC, FTCC, CTCC. So with this, I think I've come to the end of this session. Thank you very much. So if you have any questions, you can write them down at your own.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. I want to welcome you once more. As we go through the second to the last section. After this session, we'll just have the last one for about 5 minutes, and we'll all be out of this place. Okay? Let's feel a little bit relaxed while they serve you your food. While they are doing that, I will be doing the talking, and maybe before the food gets run, I'll go through a practical session just to demonstrate to you what I'm going to talk about. I want to talk about prepayment collection. It's in your manual on page 33. Just before I start, I just thought I should mention, when he was talking about those new features in the receipt, vis-a-vis the tax clearance, tax payment dates, the last tax payment. My sister from land use charge, for example, let's think about Lands Bureau. Somebody who's making a land transaction with the state worth 100 million, for example, and his receipt is showing that he has never paid tax for once. Is that proper? He has 10 million to do a landed transaction, and he has never paid tax. That's the fraud. That's the fraud. Such people at a glance, you have seen that this person is not a taxpayer. Of course, you also want to conclude your own transaction. I want to believe if we all do our bits right, the state government will be Lord better. This information we are gathering all around is to assist the state government to take the appropriate right decision and to further equip the system, the state government to serve the state better. Just for us to appreciate some of the things we are doing here, that's why I just say, let me mention that. So the prepayment collection, it is the extension of the EBS-RCM system that allows you, the agency, to function virtually as a bank. For you to do exactly what the bank does, that is collect payments and issue revenue receipt to customer at an instant. Now, why this system? Why did we introduce this system? Before now, you will agree with me, or even right now as we speak, some of the experiences we've had with the bank. They tell us system is down, right? They can't print receipts. They give us all kinds of excuses. And somehow, because we don't really know exactly what they do or what to expect, we can reason with them sometimes. Sometimes we're just angry with them. Why do you always turn payer down? And again, if we imagine a situation where we have 100 naira transaction, for example, up to 100 of them, or we'll say 50 of them, just to pay 100 naira each. All of them at the bank at the same time. Do you think that's a good thing? I don't think so. Just 50 people to pay 100 naira each. There are transactions like that, do we know? Yes. Development levy is 100 naira. Yes. So, what if we can design a system that will allow you to collect this money, issue receipts, and come back to the bank at the end of business day, after you must have attended to the payer and make this remittance in such a way that really you have given the state government the money in form of security deposits. That's why we call it prepayment. To further illustrate what I'm saying, I will use the analogy of your credit card call deduction process. You buy a credit recharge card of 100 naira. And make a call worth 10 naira, just 10 naira. Your balance will be left. Remember, before you started, you have deposited 100 naira. Yes. At first. That 100 naira you have given it to, although it's your own, you are going to make use of it. Yes. But that 100 naira you have actually given it to your network provider. Do we agree? Now you make a call worth 10 naira. And you want your balance to return back to 100. What do we do? Go and buy another 10 naira. Make it, to bring it back to 100. Now that means that we can actually make 10 naira, 10 naira, 10 naira into 10 places before we can go back to zero balance. And when we need our balance to come back to 100, we go and now buy 100. So if we make 50, we need to buy 50. Now this system is further designed as a control measure to not allow you go beyond that initial security deposit. Unlike the credit core analogy. In that regard, you can actually buy more than the 100 naira to the limit of what you want to use. The same design, but we can put such control. In fact, that control is actually there. If I give you a prepayment card, we call it agency card. It will be prime for that particular agency that will operate it. Presently, we are running the system in the informal sector. Are they here? We're running it in the MDA, Motor Vehicle Socialization Authority. Yeah. We're running it in the local governments. Some of them, not all of them. We are running it in water corporation outlets. Now, how have we successfully deployed this system? As an agent, anyone assigned to operate the system becomes an agent. We term them PPCA. The prepayment we term PPC. Most times that's the term we use. So if you are an agent operating the system, we term you a PPC, a prepaid collector agent. Now what do? There's an initial deposit of 100,000. We have it today on the card, on the special card that we give it to you. So from this card, remember I said that money has actually been paid to the state government. Or it won't void the money from you until you go away from the agreed principle. That is when you decide to do away with the money in the card or the money you have actually collected from the payer. You can't collect beyond what you have deposited, okay? So when you do away with, when you say you are done with the business, you want to do away with your collection, all the state government needs to do is void your initial deposit and convert it to itself. Are we together? Just like I should explain that. As an agent, you make an initial deposit. I want to use 100,000 because that's the default we have now. Initial deposit of 100,000 to the state government. But the agreement is it's not actually your money. You don't forfeit it. I don't forfeit it until I default from our agreement. Okay? It only becomes your actual money. Although it's in your account, the bank can bring it back to my own account if we decide to end business with mutual understanding. So, but I make an initial deposit of 100,000. I go to the field to attend to payers, remote payers, for example. Somebody comes to pay 5,000, 10,000 in that order. And at the end of the day, I have collected 50,000. My balance will be left 50. So I'm supposed to go back to the bank to make deposit of that 50. Remember that 50 actually didn't just come as 50. It came in units. Okay? These units are what the bank does. They post them, whether 10 naira, 15 naira, they post them individually. So because we want to help them to handle some of these units posted, we introduce this system to take care of those minute transactions and as well as reach out to the remote areas, those people that are not close to the bank facility. Now, what happens if the agent decides to do away with that 50,000? He has actually shortchanged himself by 50,000. By the time the state government will put that money. Are we together? Yes. Unless he has actually done up to 100, he's now 0 and decide to quit. Then we will be even. I have 100, you have collected your 100. So in such a system, the state government is fully secure. You cannot do beyond what we have configured you to do. It's such a controlled system. Now, the moment you become an agent, you are doing exactly what the bank does. Although the policy says you don't collect cash as government agents, is that true? Now, how has the MDA people overcome this obstacle? They now invited the bank into their office so that they don't touch this cash. The bank actually collects in form of hold this money for me. Okay? I will do the individual posting. I don't want you to give me the excuse of customer come back tomorrow to collect your receipt. I know the system can issue the receipt instantly. Why do you keep telling them to come back immediately? Now, that is because of the nature of their transaction. They come at interval. Every second, they can have 20 of them. So the system was even further enhanced for them to do it in form of tickets. This same process, what they do, instead of waiting for the customer to come, the payer to come before they generate the receipt, they generate the receipts before the customer comes. Because they know the exact amount of their product is a fixed amount. So such a situation, the ticketing is applicable. So when you don't know, when you cannot anticipate the amount that you pay, you shouldn't venture into such process. So that's it in a nutshell about the prepayment collection. Now, I am going to demo what I've been talking about. So we know and see what the bank actually does. So that next time they come to give us some of these flimsy excuses, we should know what to tell them, the right thing to tell them, and the right thing to expect of them. Okay? Is it okay for us to do that? Yeah. It will take us about 5 minutes. With all the talking. Now, I don't know if you are aware. This application will be mentioned. We call it ePay. This e-payment application is a desktop application. That is what they are running in the bank. Now, anytime a payer wants to make payment to the state government, he must pass through this system. This system reports to the state government at the same time to the banking application. So it's no longer as it was before. When a payer comes, the bank goes to their system and take all the time in the world before they report it to you. Okay? It is now post to me first, in fact, before reporting to the bank. Although this thing happened instantaneously. Okay? That is the system you have now. You should know this. This workshop has afforded us this opportunity to share all of these basic details. Now, when I launch this, I should start off with my ETCC card, the same ETCC card you have, the same tax clearance card. That's what you also need to log on to this system. So even if you have this application without your ETCC card, you can't actually log in. It's useless to you. Even if you can log on to the website, yet you don't have the ETCC card, the application is useless to you. So when you insert that, just like Mr. Morodia have said, I won't repeat that. This just says, please close this form to continue. This is exactly what the bank does. That this card have not interacted with the system for the past 10 days. It has forced me to do that. Now, I just want to use this opportunity to explain that, what we call synchronization interval. Although I expected it as a question at the end of the presentation, but let me just quickly say it. Although the guy has been empowered to even function offline, when there's no network at all, he can collect payments. And when network comes up, he synchronizes the card. That means update the content of the card, upload the content of the card to the Lagos State system, Lagos State database. That's what synchronization is. Marry the two contents. Okay? Now, if I've allowed the guy to walk offline, how long is he expected to do this before the system knocks him out? We have given the grace of 3 days. So even if he's allowed to operate offline, after 3 days, he doesn't interact with the system, the card will become useless in his hand. The system will knock him out until he updates the card. The system has actually knocked my own card out. That means I wouldn't have been able to do anything until I update the content of this card with the system database. Okay? That's just the synchronization interval. I click close to proceed. Same thing is applicable to the man. At this point, I'm done with the ETCC card. I can remove it. The card I talked about that has been preloaded is this. We call it agency card. At this point, we insert it. For the bank, they will insert what we call bank card. The other kind of card is bank card. You insert this and enter your password. The same password you created when you log in as a new user is applicable here. In fact, it's applicable everywhere on this system. I need to restart the system. But when I synchronize it, it tied me to Lagos location, which I don't want to make use of. I want to make use of a test environment for the purpose of our demonstration. Okay? So I need to run this again quickly. Same thing I've done before. And it gives me this form, asking me to close this form to proceed.